In a world where excess has become the norm, we often find ourselves succumbing to the temptations of overindulgence. Whether it's food, entertainment, or technology, we've become experts at satisfying our desires at a moment's notice. We seek validation and fulfillment through material possessions. Yet amidst all of this abundance, we often find ourselves feeling empty and unfulfilled. Our overindulgences can lead to a myriad of issues. But it doesn't have to be this way. There is a healthier and more fulfilling path. Join me on this journey as we explore how to overcome the issues that stem from overindulgence. Reclaim your life and find true satisfaction in a more balanced and mindful approach. How many of you find yourselves indulging in excessive sweets, spending, or an unhealthy amount of time gaming or on social media? We all like to indulge on things that may not be the best for us, but how much is too much? In this video, I wanted to talk about these indulgences and how we may be able to combat them. Hey, I'm Nick, and this is my channel, Nick's Mindful Tips. My goal is to help others to lead a more happy and fulfilling life. We've all been there, indulging in late night sweets, spending money that we knew we probably shouldn't, or spending more time than we should being completely unproductive. We tend to seek out instant gratification because when something isn't gratifying when we do it, it doesn't give us the dopamine that we've become accustomed to getting. I believe that the first step to us combating this incessant need to overindulge ourselves is just to become aware of it. Of course, becoming aware is just step one. Admit fault to yourself. It's important to admit when we've been wrong, even to ourselves. Knowing that your teeth get endless cavities, but you continue to satisfy the urge to eat one more donut. Knowing that you're cutting it close to getting your rent paid, but you can't help but just spend a couple more dollars on that thing that you saw while you were online shopping. Everyone indulges once in a while, and we are allowed to spoil ourselves from time to time. But we shouldn't be so quick to allow these indulgences to go overboard. Being able to identify triggers and patterns comes with being aware. If you get into a fight with your significant other, does it trigger you to go binge shopping online? Allowing your stress to slip away just dollar after dollar? There could be many things that might trigger you to indulge in bad behaviors, but identifying them is very important. For example, when I start getting overwhelmed with priorities that I have building up, I tend to start biting my nails. So long as I don't become overwhelmed by what I have to take care of, I would never bite my nails. This isn't an example of an indulgence, but it does identify a trigger. Figure out what it is that triggers you and recognize patterns with that. Once you have figured these out, you can start setting clear goals. If you have an issue with, let's say, eating sweets, maybe you are noticing that it is affecting your health negatively. Start by setting a goal and making it realistic. If you eat sweets twice a day, try to limit yourself to only eating one sweet a day, maybe even if it's just every other day. And give yourself a time frame. 2 weeks from today, I will only be consuming one sweet a day. Making goals realistic and setting time frames can help to structure your ability to break these bad habits. If you are struggling to do this, you can also try to start replacing your negative habits with positive ones. I used to smoke, and then I vaped for a number of years. I thought that I would never be able to get away from it. But I made up my mind one day and I committed to quitting. It wasn't easy, but how I did this was I started to chew gum to replace the oral habit that I had had. But before replacing it, I had to decide that I was ready to break the habit that I had developed. It's very important to be mentally prepared to commit to the change that you're trying to make. Without commitment, you stand on unstable ground, ready to break at any time. When there is no support surrounding you in the changes that you are committing to, it can make it especially hard to follow through and to stay on track. I can tell you with firsthand experience that if you keep sweets stacked up in your house all the time, you'll never be able to resist the temptation that it calls to you. Getting anything out of your sight and your environment that is going to encourage you to break the changes that you are making is very important. When it's 2 a.m. and you are craving a sweet, but there's nothing in your house, are you just as likely to run out to the store and go grab something? The chances are it will only help to aid you in your mission to create a supportive environment. While you are in the process of cleaning out the things that are influencing you, you can also take the time to think about giving yourself the care that you need. You are unlikely to stop with this need to overindulge yourself if you aren't giving yourself the nourishment that you need, mentally, physically, and spiritually. Finding constructive hobbies and things that you enjoy can help to fulfill desires that may push you toward overcoming these negativities. Spending time in nature so that you can ground yourself, hearing natural sounds and smelling the fresh air can be extremely nourishing to the soul. Practice techniques so that you can slow your mind down and relax your body. Deep breathing exercises, meditation, and yoga. All of these things can be helpful when trying to find ways to practice self-care. This goes without saying that if you don't have someone to talk to about issues that you're having, finding someone can do a lot for you. Having someone to talk to about the changes that you are trying to make can be a healthy way to get things out and can also help to motivate you to do what you're trying to do. You could seek out a therapist, but if that seems uncomfortable to you, you could also look to find groups on social media platforms that are uplifting and inspiring. Family and friends can be great to talk to about changes that you're trying to make. It can be encouraging to hear from somebody else that you have the capability to make the change. I have a friend who's on a weight loss journey, and from time to time she asks me to help her rediscover the reason why she's doing what she's doing. And every time that we speak, she thanks me for helping to push her to continue on her journey. Having that group or that person to talk to can be one of the most powerful things on this list in my personal opinion. There's absolutely nothing like hearing words of affirmation or encouragement from those that you care about. You should also be sure to track any progress and note any setbacks along the way. Almost nobody does something the very first time that they try to. The very first time I tried to quit vaping, I failed. The first time I tried to cut sugar out, I failed. The first time I tried to commit myself to working out, again, I failed. Just because you fail at something does not mean that it can't happen. It's about the effort that is involved and the conviction. You should look at those failures and figure out why they happened and what needs to change so that you can fix them. Failure is not a loss. It is a learning experience. It is an obstacle that gets in your way so that you can learn how to deal with it the next time that you run into it. Making changes and changing habits is a journey, and it takes a lot of time and effort. You must allow yourself patience and look toward the positivity that you are striving towards. Allowing yourself to indulge sometimes is okay, but there is a fine line to be had between indulgence and overindulgence. Find a healthy balance between pleasure and discipline, and find fulfillment in living a balanced and harmonious life. Embrace the joy of moderation, where you can enjoy life's pleasures without succumbing to their negative consequences. Remember, self-awareness and self-control are powerful tools on this transformative journey. Celebrate every small step forward, and let each success fuel your determination in making positive choices. With perseverance and a genuine desire for personal growth, you can break free from the chains of overindulgence and create a brighter and more fulfilling future for yourself. That's all I have for you guys on this video. I want you guys to leave a comment down below and let me know things that you guys overindulge in. With that being said, have a good one, guys. Later. I can tell you with firsthand experience that if you keep all of the sweets stacked up in your house at any given time, I can tell you with firsthand experience that if you keep sweets stacked up in your house all of the time, that they're good. Trust me. Getting anything out of your sight and out of your environment while you are in the process of cleaning out the things that are influencing you, you can also take the time to watch my video right now, because I can't. Spending time in nature to ground yourself because your parents never grounded you when you were a child and you lack discipline. You could also look to find groups on find a healthy balance between pleasure and discipline. Remember, celebrate every small step forward, and when you celebrate, make sure you celebrate by doing the thing that you have been trying not to do. You know, like eating donuts and drinking and all kinds of crap.